Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. My name is Alec here with Atlas IPS here at Community Transit, your fitness specialist. We are back on site. So I am making this exercise video because today's upper body day. So as always, just feel free to follow along at your own pace as we get through this upper body workout. So we're going to start how we have been starting before with a little bit of a warm up. We're going to start with some slow arm circles here. So just getting into this tall kneeling position, we're just going to do slow arm circles to warm up. Rotate your cuff muscles here. We're going to do about 10 to 15 forward. Once we're done, we're going to take a pause, go back the other way for about 15, the other direction. Once we hit about 15, you can pause, go back the other way. We're going to go a little bit bigger now. Big arm circles for about 10. Just letting ourselves go through the motions. A little bit of shrugging is okay in the shoulder blades. Just making sure everything feels like it's getting nice and warm. Pause and go back the other way for 10. All right, once we've gotten that there, we're going to let our arms hang out at our side, and we're going to do similar motion, but we're just going to go through the shoulder blades this time. So we're going to do shoulder circles. So you can start by letting your shoulder blades slowly come back together behind you. Raise them up towards your ear. Let them glide out forward towards your chest, and then droop back down to that starting position. You can slowly start to make that more fluid. Speed that motion up, back and forth. You can kind of think that while you're going backwards, you're kind of letting your arms expand almost a little bit and rotate outward. And then as it comes up and forward, it's kind of internally rotating. You can kind of think of like a butterfly swimmer, where they're opening up as their chest expands and then closing it as their chest kind of closes in the front. So same idea, back and forth, just like that. About 10. And then take a pause. Once we've done about 10 of those, go the other way. Okay, once we're done there, we are going to do some neck rolls. So we're just going to let our head and neck relax. You're going to put your arms behind your back, create a clasp, press it down towards the floor, let your chest expand nice and tall. Keeping your abdomen flat here, you're just going to let your head and neck relax down in front of you, not any active force, just letting gravity take over. I'm just going to lean to a side. Take a deep breath, let everything come out. Find the other side. Just slowly letting it go. Slightly stretching the muscles. If you want to add a little bit of a stretch, if you have kind of tight spots near the upper inner crest of your shoulder blade, consider going from this kind of like looking forward position on one side. You can turn your head down and look down into your hip pocket. You might notice that opens up a little bit of a bigger stretch in another muscle group. Try that on both sides. Feeling the difference between the two. Just going to do a handful of slow, relaxed rolls. Once we're done with those, we're going to get into a little bit more active muscle primings. We're going to get into our shoulder butterflies. So with this one, we're going hands behind the head. You can also do this as just kind of a scap squeeze. You don't have to go hands behind the head if you'd rather do it kind of from here, but the idea is from hands behind the head, you are just starting in this tall position with the back of your head lightly pressed into your hands. And you're going to go elbows together and then elbows apart. When your elbows come apart, you're letting your chest kind of come up and forward and expand, letting your shoulder blades come together in the back. The opposite's true. Your chest is collapsed, shoulder blades are coming apart, chest is expanding, shoulder blades coming together. Other variation, just hands kind of at your side, about shoulder height, elbows kind of at about 30-45 degrees here. Same idea, you can just bring elbows back and lightly squeeze the mid and lower line of your shoulder blades together, letting your chest open up as you do so, and then back to a neutral position. Same idea for about 10. A couple more things. This is going to be for your rib cage. So we're going to do two things here. So first thing we're going to do, we are going arms on opposite shoulders, kind of creating this little cross position. What I want you to think about is very light abdominal, bringing it in, tightening our abdomen, just light 10 to 20% contraction, just tightening our abdomen here. The idea is that is holding us in place. We're not going to be moving from this midline now that we've tightened it up. So from here, we're going to raise our elbows up and let our upper rib cage expand, get nice and tall, but maintaining that flatness of the lower abdomen. So we're not expanding from here, we're keeping that flat. We're letting the upper component, the rib cage, expand and elevate back down. Next, we're going to do one more thing with the rib cage. We're going to go in now diagonal directions or lateral directions, excuse me. So same idea with the abdomen staying tight and firm. Your lumbar, your lower abdomen is not going to be moving at all here. But from this position, we are now keeping that tight. We're just going to rotate to a side. Again, tight here, rotation here. From the side here, there. Rotate. You'll make it about 45 degrees before your hips and your lower abdomen will help assist you, and that's good. That's where we want to finish. Do about 10 in one direction, and then 10 the other direction. Okay. We're going to get into the last bit of our warm-up here. We're going to get back into our quadruped series, our hands and knees series. So with this, we have been working from this position here, thinking hand position just underneath our shoulders. Our thumbs are just underneath our shoulders, the inner piece of our armpit. We're creating two L's. That's how our hands are oriented. So if my hands are on the ground like this, two L's, just like that. Coming down. From this position, we're scooping the pocket of our elbows forward and creating a very extended locked position here in the elbows, nice and flat through our torso. So what we are doing is we are going through retraction and protraction, meaning we're starting in this firm and sturdy position. We're letting our shoulder blades collapse, come together like so. Chest falls towards the floor. And we're pressing up nice and firm as high as we can. Lower abdomen, this mid-range doesn't change at all. It's just dropping, pressing up with control. After we've done 10, you can take it back into a child's pose just to unload. You can even come down to your elbows and unload for a minute. Let your back decompress. And then we can come right back into it. We're going to add a little bit of forward translation here. So if we're starting first in this vertical stack position, we will now glide forward about an inch. About 2 to 3 inches actually. Do the same thing for 10 repetitions. Again, take it back down when we're done. Unload. You can even stretch your
triceps there. Bring your elbows, hands together behind your head.
Back down. Okay, next piece, we're going to scoop in that position. Our feet are going to curl underneath, so we have the support to now lift our knees about 2 to 3 inches off the ground. Holding that firm and sturdy position, we're going to slowly lower and press up again. All right. For our warm-up, that is all we're going to do for that progression. We have gone further in the past, but as far as just keeping it within the guides of the warm-up, we're going to stick with that. So today we're going to take kind of slow. We're going to do a handful of exercises more along the lines of balance and stability. So we will end with some light tempo push-ups, but in the interim, we're just going to work on stability from a push-up or high plank position, as well as doing some light and controlled inchworms and bear crawls, which are ones that we have touched on in the past. So let's start by finding that plank position. So high plank, meaning we're going to do plank from the hands today. We're going to basically take a step further from what we just did in the quadruped position. High plank can be done from either knees. Bring yourself forward like so, keeping that nice flat line from your shoulders through your knees. A little bit of a hip angle is okay here, but once we go from feet, we want to create a little bit more of a straight line like so. So finding whichever one works for you, either knees or from feet. First thing we're going to do, again, hands are in that L position with your thumbs lined up with the crease of your armpit. We are going to work on light retraction, protraction, just nice control. We're going to do 15 of those. Same things before. You can come out by going back to your knees, going back to your heels. If you need to take breaks at all during this, feel free to cut some repetitions short. Just make sure that whether you're going from your knees or from your feet, you're able to maintain that same elbow space position. So not letting your elbows pop out wide, and also just making sure that they're staying locked, and just slow, guided, light range of motion so that you're not bending your elbows and going down towards the floor. So the next thing we're going to add to that is we're going to start doing some light circles. So this is going to create more of a dynamic balance and work on some of those scapular stabilizers by changing our center of mass as we are holding our weight up. So I'll change positions here just for a second to show you what that looks like from the front, and then we'll get into it from the side. So we're going to get into that same plank position. We're going to go in both directions. Once we are here, we're just going to go nice and slow, no real speed to this. Just going in this, I'm doing a counterclockwise circle right now. And you're noticing that even though I'm going through this, I'm trying my best to keep my back to my shoulder blades on a nice flat plane, not letting it shift and rock as I'm going as much as possible. And do about 15 in this direction. And I'll show you one way that you can kind of bridge the gap between going from your knees and from your feet. So again, I was going kind of about here, this kind of straight position. You can do is if you feel like this is a little bit too easy, this is too hard, you can bring your knees in and kind of bridge that gap by doing this kind of bear crawl position. We're going to do, just did about 15 on one side, do 15 to make it up on the other side. And back down, child's pose. Unload and rest. You can sit there while I explain the last part. So, just did protraction, retraction, circles. We're now going to disengage and work with one arm, so we're going to definitely lighten the load. If you're going from feet, highly suggest going from knees. If you're going from knees, feel free to draw in your knees. And instead of being out here, if it's too difficult, bring it in, approaching as far as you need to, being closer to that quadruped position. The idea here is those circles were a lot of scapular stability by changing the center of mass around our upper torso. This time we are actually going to bring that shoulder blade as well as the arm through more active range of motion by going through rotations. So, show you what that looks like. If I am in the quadruped position, I'll just start from here so I can demonstrate. We're going to take, right hand's going to stay still, left hand's going behind my back, and I'm just going to go elbow to elbow pocket, and out back as much as I can rotate, press through my palm upward, just like so. You might have to center your hand a little bit, and you can widen your stance through your legs to give you a little bit more support balance-wise. But this here, again, is kind of tempo control. You want to have enough support that you don't feel like you're going to fail at any time. This isn't about speed, so you're taking your time with all of these. We're looking to do about 15 repetitions here as well. So find something you feel like you get through 15. Again, walk your knees up to make it easier, walk them back to make it more difficult. Wide stance through the legs, narrow with the hand. We go for 15. All right, switch sides, make sure we get the other side. If you noticed that that distance was either too easy or too difficult, find a modification. Do the same thing on the other side. Elbow out, hand behind the head, draw it in, tap in the forearm or the inner pocket of the elbow. Go through 15. And down. All right, great on that one. We are going to go into a round of light inchworms or bear crawls. So this is up to you. Space is a little slick in here. We're waiting to get our actual flooring in. So I might be slipping and sliding. But the idea here is now we're going to be working a little bit harder, but not really going through a ton of range of motion yet. The bear crawls will be a little bit more range of motion, but we're not quite going through that full down to up in the push-up. We're getting closer. So for the inchworm, we've been doing plenty of these, so if you've been tuning in the past, you'll definitely know what we're talking about here. But the idea, I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm going to be going in and out of it anyway. The idea here is starting by curling our toes, going up into a down dog, walking the hands out, and then walking the feet up to meet it. And continuing that until we run out of space, and going back the other way. So that is inchworm. If you notice that you aren't really having too much trouble doing that, and you want something a little more difficult, you can attempt to do bear crawl instead. So with that, we are getting into that modified quadruped position. We're curling our toes and going about 2 to 3 inches off the ground. And from there, it's opposite hand, opposite leg walk. And we're trying to keep our torso on a level plane. So with that, in this position, left leg's moving, right arm's moving, walk. We're just trying to keep our torso level the whole time. Another way to think about it visually is it's kind of like if you were to take someone who's mountain climbing and turn it on its side, just kind of flip that image. It's kind of what it should look like. So you're tracing the wall the whole time. You're staying low and level the whole time. Like so. So we will go through a round of it for about 30 seconds, just to get a taste. I'll be doing, for safety and slipperiness sake, I'm going to be doing inchworms today, but feel free to test yourself with some mountain climbers or bear crawls, whatever you want to call them. We're going to get started in 3 seconds, go for a round of 30. All right, walking feet up, high as you can go. Walking hands out as far as you can make it. Walking it back once you run out of space. Oh, we can add some time to this. We'll go up to 45. Go. All right. So that was inchworms and bear crawls. You can add more sets if you are watching this. Want to take a pause, go back and add some more sets. You absolutely can. But I'm going to demonstrate the last piece for today, which is the tempo push-ups. So we've been kind of adding a little bit of difficulty to the exercises as we go, starting with more stability and trying to add some levels of range of motion to accompany it. So now we're going to end nice and simply with your choice of difficulty of push-up through tempo, meaning we are going to not let the pace change at any point during the exercise. If you note that you're unable to continue the rep at that pace and need to jerk your way up to the top, it's a good time to take a break or dial back the exercise and find a variation that you can do more reps of. So we can do push-up from our knees, push-up from our feet. We can take it back and do that incline or downward dog push-up that we've been doing from that vertical position. If you have a coffee table, chair, anything that you feel like would make it a sturdy platform for you to do an incline push-up to add or to taper a little bit off, you can even do it from a table or a wall. I just want to make sure that our tempo is not changing throughout this. So we're going to do a 3 count on the way down and a 3 count on the way up. Consistently, we're aiming for 10 to 15 repetitions. So we will get started here in a second. We'll go through one set. You can add sets as you please to round out your workout. So this isn't quite wide enough for my hand position, so I'm going to go from the front here. Ooh, I'll give you guys the profile view, more helpful. Got hands here, feet up. We're going to disengage for 1, 1,000, 2, 1,003, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,003. 9 more like that. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Couple more. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Last one. All right. So again, if you feel like you're unable to maintain a consistent pace on both ends of those through the repetitions, please consider dialing it back to a variation that works a little bit more for you to get through that, as well as to get through multiple sets. Definitely want to consider adding multiple sets to those. So if you still have some left in the tank, please consider dialing it back, going back from the start, starting with a few more plank rotations, getting into some more inchworms or bear crawls, and then ending a few more tempo push-ups. As always, we're here for you. We're still doing telehealth as we transition the phases, hopefully starting to consider what it looks like to reopen this place. But in the meantime, you can definitely reach out to us. We're on site Monday through Friday, 7 to 7. You can call or text us 425-551-8862. And yeah, I will catch you again. We're going to be doing a core workout on Friday at 1 o'clock. So I will see you then.